This is gonna be a good day. Nature scream, baby!
Welcome everyone to the Different Take live stream, I guess you could say.
Yeah.
Yeah. As always, I am Joe D. Different Take, as you know. And of course, the guy who needs no introduction, Joe Zakreski from Rev of a Horror podcast. What's going on, man?
Not much, Joe. How you been, bud?
Super. No,
That's great. That's what I like to hear.
Yeah, I'm still getting better. Last time we talked, I had talked about having a new puppy, and I still do, but he's a little terror.
Yeah.
But
yeah, they'll cost you a couple bucks here and there, and might even rip something up.
Sleep, biting, stopping and walks. It's like a horror movie.
Speaking of which,
we should probably just get right into it.
It's the topic of the night.
Yeah. So it's a big topic in the horror community, I guess you could say. Everybody seems to have an opinion on anything Blumhouse puts out, to the point now where it's like by default, when Blumhouse puts something out, I feel like horror fans automatically are like, no, no.
Well, yeah, I mean, there's always that reluctance for anything new from the horror community, and it's a tough genre because you've seen so many things that are recycled or a remake, and crave something that's original. At least that's how I look at it. But when we thought of the topic for tonight, what came to mind, especially with Blumhouse, is I compare, I don't know if you remember because you've just been on the West Coast for so long. I compare it to Wawa.
Go on. I don't know yet. Go on.
So it starts off all nice, and it's like, hey, this is nice. It's niche. It feels good. So what? Blumhouse's first big hit was Paranormal Activity. I think that was the first one Jason Blum was involved with, and then you roll on. He's done some regular movies in there. I know he had the Rock movie, The Tooth Fairy. I think he might have been a producer on. He's dabbled in on all sorts of stuff. So Paranormal Activity, Insidious, Sinister, The Purge. So a lot of things that were really launching his name, his brand. But just as time goes on and it gets bigger and bigger, and they're able to do more things, the quality starts to dip. And what I will give Blumhouse credit for is it seems like the Blumhouse name is on it, but whatever the creative is behind it gets full control. So it's there's not really a formula when I see it's going to be Blumhouse that I know it's going to be a Blumhouse movie.
You mean for an example, Disney or A24,
yeah,
right?
Yeah, or even back in the day, if I saw Miramax, I'm like, all right, here comes a cheap slasher.
Yeah.
Yeah. Joe, Wawa is selling pizzas now.
I heard about that.
And that's what I think of with the new, everybody likes pizza. It's great. It's a classic. It doesn't need anything else to touch it. So why Blumhouse got involved with The Exorcist, which is the pizza of horror movies. It's the best one. It's a classic. Don't touch it. There's other possession movies out there, but The Exorcist is that great mom and pop pizza shop that you love. And the Blumhouse Exorcist trilogies, we'll say, is the Wawa 7-Eleven pizza.
Well, you know how I feel about franchise movies.
Yeah, I'm not even touching the Halloween ones yet. So
yeah, you know how I feel about that. My whole thing is, if you have a good idea and there's a logical continuation of the story, Or if you want to create something with the name, the franchise, and create something original based off of the original idea. It's tough to do though, because of these big companies, they put out something and people expect something. So the hardcore fan may expect Michael Myers with Halloween. You may expect The Exorcist. You're going to expect certain things. So it's hard to sort of get outside of the box and do something different.
Yeah.
But
I'd rather just a ripoff. Don't even like, why does it have to build on to the existing story?
because
Is that necessary?
because yeah,
Is it?
yeah, and I'll tell you why. Because and this is a totally different topic, so because we're getting a little off topic, but Blumhouse, to your point, just to go back to your point real quick, Blumhouse, I felt in the beginning, were taking more chances. They were doing more original stuff.
Oh yeah, I mean, there's like Happy Death Day is a movie I remember seeing trailers for and being like, "What is this Groundhog Day horror? Looks so stupid." And I even went and saw it in theaters, and I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, I did say it's
And the
fun.
sequel to it is really good too.
Yeah, yeah, no,
It's like got good twists in it. It's like, all right, that's cool. Why do we need more Halloweens built off the Jamie Lee Curtis story? Why do we need an Exorcist
because
going off of Reagan? Leave it alone.
because you know this, because as great as those movies are, the lower scale kind of original idea movies, which they still do, by the way, they're just not as known. But they're not going to pack the theaters. They're not going to make the money at the box office. And in order to fund the other projects, or if you're going to give these other projects a little more budget, you have to have more in the tank, and you got to be able to sort of.
Let's see something, because I want to check this now, because that's what we're talking about. Because the one thing that I would rather see than building off it is like taking the name, the story, and shifting it more modern, and like you don't even have to use those, like the classic character's name. So like the Evil Dead, was that 2013?
Yeah,
which is pretty much a remake of the Evil Dead, but changed for a more modern time, and they did not use the name Ash. So there's no Ash character. So I want to see like how little that do.
I don't
box office.
I don't think it did great. I think it did okay, but I didn't think it did great.
So it did 54.2 million domestically, 43.3 million. So total take of 97.5 million against the $17 million budget. So that's not a flop.
That's not a flop. No, I don't think it was a flop. Yeah.
I think like Blumhouse blew that opportunity and could have done that with the Halloween series, but I guess that's a little more challenging because you can do Halloween without Michael Myers, but you can't.
They tried that.
You can't.
To be fair, they did try that.
You can't do The Shape without Michael Myers. But
yeah,
The Exorcist, you could do The Exorcist without Pazuzu. You could do The Exorcist without Reagan. You can do you don't need that.
Yeah.
Honestly, I was hoping that we were going to get like a Spider-Man out of that first Halloween, like the Blumhouse Halloween trilogy. I thought David Gordon Green, I was hoping that was going to go more of a remake.
What do you mean? Like a Spider-Man?
So, we had the Tobey Maguire Spider-Man.
Mm-hmm.
And then within a decade, we had Andrew Garfield Spider-Man.
Yeah.
And then in less than a decade again, you had the Tom Holland Spider-Man.
Which I think that's eventually what's going to happen.
I think that's the right move, because you're building off these that just got out of control. And we've talked, like, we run into dangerous territory when we discuss those movies, because we can go on for a very long time.
Yeah. Yes, we can. Them. And we have, and we will.
Yeah,
again.
It's never going away.
No. My whole thing is, look, I'm always open to new ideas, being creative, a continuation of a story, because when you have a great character or a great story or a great movie, to me,
Mm-hmm.
there is like we talked about this before, like Dracula, Frankenstein. Like there's just these great characters that when you get something right, it's like people want to see it, no matter how hard or how bad people don't want to touch it and go, oh no, 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 no. And although it's like yeah, the golden rule, don't let something be, let it be, but people are invested in these characters. They want to see more. Some people don't want to see more, but there's a lot of people who were like put something out. It's like, yeah, or whether it's a continuation or a remake or whatever. So as long as there's a good idea and it's a logical continuation of the story or just a good creative idea to remake something completely different, I'm on board for it. But what's happening now with Blumhouse is what I'm starting to see is, like you said, they're attaching onto these franchises more and more.
Yeah.
And what I'm seeing is that not only that, but they're getting really, really safe with their movies lately.
Yeah.
And
I mean,
that's where I get worried because it's, I don't want to say they're ruining horror, but they got to be careful because of course you're going to have A24 and you're going to have Neon and you're going to have the other, lower budget companies who are going to take more chances on horror movies. Right. There's some really good production companies out there who make some good stuff.
oh yeah.
But with Blumhouse, what I'm afraid is going to happen is that if they keep on chalking out these, Five Nights at Freddy's and, Fantasy Island and whatever, and it's like PG-13, massive.
Everything has to be a trilogy because there's 2 more Five Nights at Freddy's coming your way.
Well, yeah. I mean,
but that's different, and I'll let you finish, and then
I'm all for a trilogy. I get the whole one movie thing, but to me, if you have a good enough idea and you want to stretch it over 3 movies, I'm fine with that because you got to watch a series or a TV show. It's got like 11 episodes.
Honestly, if you get that deal, good for you. I mean, that's the way I look at it. It's, good for the people making it.
I don't know why Five Nights at Freddy's needs 3 movies, but that's me.
I don't either, but it was interesting after that dropped. It was I have a 20-year-old niece and I have a 13-year-old daughter. Now, the 20-year-old niece, when she was probably like 12, 13, loved
wait, I wasn't reacting to the 20-year-old niece. I want to be clear about that. I'm reacting because you froze, your webcam froze up a little bit, and I was kind of just like that. So I was not reacting to the 20-year-old niece.
No.
I'll be very clear about that.
It's the thing where it's about the target demographic, and it's something I have a conversation with a lot with people my age. Like, quick example was when they that 90s show on Netflix, and it's like, oh, you got Red and Kitty, and if you watch the show, it's not for me. It's not for my age. It's not targeted towards our demographic that grew up watching that 70s show. It's targeted towards people who were my age when I was watching that 70s show, which is like my daughter's age, and my daughter loved it. And same thing happened with my niece with Five Nights at Freddy's. She thought it was going to be catered towards her generation because they're the ones who were playing the game and watching the shorts. And she was like, it was way too childish. And then there's my 13-year-old daughter and her 13-year-old friends who were watching it at my house who absolutely loved it. So I think Five Nights at Freddy's is getting some odd criticism, but that's because there's a whole group that maybe this is like the first movie they watched that is like, feels like it's for them, but it's not targeted at them whatsoever.
Yeah, Five Nights at Freddy's was weird. I saw what was the one with Nicolas Cage? Willy's Wonderland, right? Yeah. That wasn't bad. I felt like it could have been better, but for the budget that they had and for what they were doing, and I ended up liking it more than not liking it. And then what was the other one? Recent indie movie that I just absolutely adore. Not the same concept, but it's similar. Benny Loves You. I know that's
That was one that you really liked because when we did the Halloween calendar, you had that in your
It's
October movie watch
it's
list.
so much fun. It's so much
It's
fun.
silly. I got to watch that one again. That's a good time.
Yeah, yeah. And to me, I thought they did a lot of really good stuff with it, and it was original idea. It was funny, and it was like Chucky, but it was like it was a good time. Whereas I felt like Five Nights at Freddy's, even though there was times where it was fun, it really took itself seriously at times. There was,
Yeah.
I felt like you didn't. It was like a mystery backstory, but it was like overcomplicated. Like it was kind of in a way, it was kind of just like, all right, there's a guy who's working there. All right, this is why he's working there, and it's like there's a kid, and I think, okay, all right,
You know what? I guess that's why you need another one.
I know,
More detail.
yeah,
It worked for Hill House.
That's true. That's true. I just feel like, I mean, we can go through the list of ones that have come out recently. I mean, Five Nights at Freddy's, Exorcist Believer, Totally Killer, though they did pretty good with.
So
have you seen that yet?
No, it's on my list because that's on Prime, right?
Yeah, that's fun. That's a good one.
So Totally Killer, American, black comedy slasher film. I mean, everything about this looks great. Thing that's killing me is time, and I really, really want to watch this. And all I need to know is it's a slasher set in the 80s, late 80s, right?
Yeah, I won't say any more.
That's all I need. Great formula.
Yeah, it's fun. It's a lot of fun. Yeah, I don't know. They did, I think, a really good job with Sick. You saw Sick, right? On Peacock.
On the Peacock. Yeah.
Peacock. That was good. That was very good.
Solid.
I mean, they have some. I mean, it's like surprising sometimes the ones that you see. I heard Nanny was good. That came out in 2022.
This is another Amazon.
Yeah.
No, I haven't seen that. I did see Megan.
What did you think of Megan?
So we go
Shut up, Meg.
It was better than I thought it was going to be. And I went in with little to no expectations.
Mm-hmm.
And it turned out being okay.
It was okay. I just don't
like again in the demographic department, the teens loved it.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I thought, to me, I think what bothers me with Megan is that, like, the critics liked it, the audience liked it, but to me, it was good. It was okay. It was pretty good. It wasn't great, but it was good. Could have been better. But that got love from audiences and critics. Whereas to me, Child's Play 2019 was better than Megan. And Child's Play did not get love from a lot of people. It's gaining a somewhat cult following. Let's see, the Sound Painter Studio. Oh, hey, what's up, man? I love it's been a while since I've talked to him. Hey. Said for Megan, I waited to the R-rated cut. Did I see the R-rated? I just watched it when it was on.
I watch the R-rated cut on Peacock? Should I just say Peacock? I just already built it into my system.
Yeah. I think people get what you're talking about. Yeah.
The Peacock.
I have to see the R-rated one and make sure it's, how much, the difference, because I liked it. I did like it. I want to be clear. I did like it. I kind of am a little miffed because I thought Child's Play 2019 was better, and I thought that got a lot of hate for a couple reasons, and that's what kind of bugged me about Megan. It's just like, man, that was.
Child's Play is working really well as a TV show right now.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Well,
and it's niche. Like, you have to like Chucky. And I know there's a lot of people that are hot and cold on the Chucky movies, like on the Child's Play movies. I mean, I think it's fine. I think it's pretty fun. And I think his character is better in that format than the movie itself. Because you have the first Child's Play, which is a good one, and then Child's Play 2 is just I can't stop laughing when I watch Child's Play 2 or Child's Play 3. Like, I just laugh nonstop.
Yeah, Child's Play 2 is yeah, a little over the top. We could have a whole we could talk about because I'm not the biggest Chucky fan. I wasn't until I watched them recently, like last year, and I had a ball with a lot of them. And
They're
even
fun.
the one that gets a lot of hate, Seed of Chucky, I thought that was hysterical.
It's so stupid. It's good.
Oh my
It's
god, I can't
hilarious.
believe people hate that movie.
No,
I
mean,
will die on that hill.
it
Seed of Chucky
it's
is a
just
ball.
straight up comedy
Ball
at
fun.
that point.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Well, it took the whole idea of like a trans thing, which I'm not saying it's funny. I just want to be clear about that. But they took that and they put it into a doll, and they just completely have fun with the whole idea.
Whatever. Just
And I'm not saying that was funny, but I'm just saying the movie as a whole, it was really clever in what they did. Let's see, Sound Parent Studio. The unrated shows the scenes cut out and some of the trailers, like the kid getting his ear.
Oh, you know what? I think I did watch the R-rated version.
See, I don't think I saw that version. Yeah, okay, cool. I'm glad that I thought it was really. I'm glad you like it as well. And Joe, you like Child's Play 2019, right?
Yeah, if I see Chucky, I'm gonna watch it.
Well, I thought it was clever, and we're getting off topic again, but Child's Play 2019 was really, I thought,
you know why it was good, Joe? Because maybe Blumhouse didn't get their mitts on it.
Well, you know about the whole. That's funny. You know that
so.
they split up the like Child's Play and then Child's Play and then Chucky are owned by two different corporations, right? Or two different kind of deals, right? That's the way it works.
Didn't know that, but that doesn't surprise me in the slightest, which is why the TV show would have a different name.
Yep. That's why. So Chucky is by the name of Chucky is copyrighted or is owned by the guy who created the series or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And then Miramax or whoever, I don't know what
it's probably Universal at this point. I think might have.
I think it's Universal. It might be Universal,
which is NBC, which is Peacock, but also HBO. Somebody
owns the rights to the name Child's Play.
Okay.
And they were raking the movie out of it. The guy who created Chucky didn't, really want to go in that direction. So they kind of split off, and now that's why that movie is like on its own. And the TV series is what it is. But I heard the TV series was good. I didn't watch it yet, but I heard it was really good.
I mean, don't expect it to like blow you away. Just be like, I just want to have some fun. like just a mindless, simple watch. I think it's one of those shows where you have to say, well, you just got to get through the first few episodes and then it really picks up.
Yeah, that's
common in TV.
Yeah, exactly. And I've been hearing left and right that it's just a good fun time. It's just, if you like Chucky and you like having a good time, just check it out. So I was like, all right, that's good enough for me. It's just hard for me to start a show because you should see my watch list on Letterboxd. It's like 200 something movies. It's ridiculous. I sometimes add movies to it that I'm like on, but I'm interested in just so I don't forget about them.
Yeah.
But it's like the list can go on and on and on. And some people are like, hey, check out this show. 9 episodes the first season, 10 episodes. I'm like, I don't got time for that shit. I got all these movies to watch. What the fuck? But let's see. Champion Studio. It's good because Chatty Words get. Thank you, sir. Thank you. It's been a while since we've been back. It's been a long time, and Blumhouse. See, it's been a lot of people were mixed on Blumhouse, and they had a better record.
How can you not be at this point? That's just what comes with they've been around for a long time now and have been successful, and just such a roaring start to now. Kind of getting some things that are not as like unique as they used to be.
Yeah, I think that's what's
like. I guess it's got to be cheaper to get their hands on some of these properties rather than seeking out new things for production.
I think
there's got to be a cost benefit to it.
That I think the return is what it is. I think the return in the box office is when you have an IP like The Exorcist or Halloween or Five Nights at Freddy's.
How do David Gordon Green and Dan McBride make some of the best TV shows ever, and then David Gordon Green's out there making just terrible horror movies?
Well, look, we can talk. Look, this is going to go in a whole discussion. I liked
I know.
Halloween 2018. I loved Halloween Kills. Halloween Ends. I liked, but I still just say to this day, I don't know why they made that call. That's an interesting call to make on the third and final chapter. If you're gonna do something like that, you got to do it in the second movie, not the third movie. I don't know why they did it in the third movie. It just blows my mind.
Yeah. Now we talked about that the other week. Just
yeah. So
whatever.
that's that. The Exorcist, because these Halloween movies made money. That's why David Gordon Green and Danny McBride. I mean, look, they got some pull. You know, they got their shows. I know.
Give me the money.
Yep. I don't. And this is for another show to talk about The Exorcist, because I don't know what the hell they were thinking. And this is coming from a guy. This is coming from a guy who likes the Halloween movies.
Yeah.
You don't like them. I like the new ones. I'm pretty open to new ideas, new shit. You know this. We've talked about this, where you kind of like, oh, dude, I'm just like, no, it's good. It's not bad. I'm watching this one going, what
remake.
the fuck are they doing?
Huh? I'm waiting for the next Halloween remake. I think whenever that happens, it'll be good.
Yeah. Well,
I'm not a curmudgeon for the revamp or the revision. For some reason, the adding on to the existing thing when everyone's old doesn't quite do it for me. However, I'll take that back, because it does work in Ghostbusters. I don't know if you saw the trailer for the new Ghostbusters.
I have not seen the trailer. I'm not a big. I try to stay away.
That's right. I can't. I loved Afterlife so much.
Afterlife was so good.
And it's like so now they're doing another one. I'm like, this looks so much fun, so good. So I mean, if there's a way of doing it right, just throw in Paul Rudd, I guess.
Oh yeah.
He's so charming.
I don't know. Again, and I know we want to keep going to this because I feel like it's on the tip of my tongue. I want to talk about it so much, but I don't know what the hell they were thinking. I was watching that The Exorcist Believer. I was watching it, and 45 minutes in, I'm sitting there going like, "Is something going to happen?" Or like this. I'm bored. Like I'm not scared at all. What the hell? Anyway, but that's a story for another day. Again, it was more like a drama. Anyway, but going back to Blumhouse, if you look at their movies, they do have a pretty wide variety, like a variety of movies. They take some low hanging fruit stuff that like people are gonna like, low hanging fruit, like was it Mr. Harrigan's Phone that was on Netflix? I heard that was terrible. They Them on Peacock, I heard that was terrible. But then I heard Firestarter, the new Fire, I heard that was not good. But then you got movies like the guy who did he did Rob Savage, he did Host, the desktop movie Host. He did his latest one that came out last year was Dashcam. I like Dashcam. I thought that was an absolute blast.
You know what? I heard from someone else that was a fun watch.
Yeah. The main character is annoying as hell, but I think she's purposely annoying. But a lot of people didn't like it because of that reason. But she's like so over the top, obnoxious that it's like it's purposely done, and it's funny if you see the comments, because they have the comments like because she's on Instagram or whatever, Instagram Live, and you see the comments like they're ripping her in the comments.
Intentional.
Oh yeah, absolutely, absolutely.
But outside of Blumhouse, like I just wanted to talk to you because in this conversation, I'm like, I want to ask Joe, like, other, there's directors that basically become their own brand, and there's one I'm thinking of where it's like we talk about Blumhouse. It's like started off so hot, and now it seems like they're on their is on a downward trajectory.
With the big,
maybe not money wise,
IPs,
but quality wise, like
the big IPs, yeah.
So, thinking about Thanksgiving that's coming out, which is Eli Roth, right?
Mhm.
What? He like rose so fast and just dropped off really fast. And I was trying to think about, I'm like, what did he have that really was that good? So you have was the first one, the one with Ryder Strong and was it Cabin Fever.
Oh, Cabin Fever. Yeah. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
was good. And then like the thing that worked so well in that one is like then he started to do it a little overkill, is like there's just the small humor in it.
Yeah.
And then you have Hostel, which was I don't know.
I'm not a Hostile guy, to be honest.
I actually liked Hostel 2 better than the first one, which is a rare thing for
Okay.
me to say the sequel's better. The reason why I like Hostel 2 is because you got to know more about the club behind it.
Okay. Yeah.
I mean, the first one's just like just stupid humor he throws in there that's like unnecessary. But he does it. He's like, I'm gonna gross you out and have some terrible humor thrown in the mix. You know, I don't know if you
seems to be
saw
his thing.
Green Inferno.
I haven't seen it, but I've heard about it.
I wouldn't.
Don't bother.
I wouldn't bother. It's like, you know, wanted to try to do his version of Cannibal Holocaust and just
That's what it's. That's what it
throws
feels
in
like.
some humor that's really bad, and yeah, it's
They need to get comedy writers in there to write the humor because sometimes the comedy isn't working hard. They try, but it doesn't work.
and ever since I went to see the Grindhouse double feature, and there was the Thanksgiving
Oh yeah.
trailer, that's where it
Remember that.
comes from.
Oh, good, because I was wondering if that was yeah. I'm
Yeah.
glad.
And my favorite, like, because it was hilarious. Because it starts off, you have like what's the Pilgrim gonna? I forget. The Pilgrim has a name, and he you know, the whole family's dead around the Thanksgiving table, and then there's just the Pilgrim just humping the turkey. And I really hope that scene stays in there. I'm like, there's that. That's solid. But I hope it's not going to be overkill with some of the Eli Roth sense of humor, where it's just like poorly delivered puns and lines, and just don't do it.
Well, so far, I think it's got a pretty positive rating on Rotten Tomatoes,
Cool.
which
It could be a big comeback for him. That'd be cool too, because you know he's also the Bear Jew in Inglourious Bastards.
oh yeah.
Which
Yeah.
just to go off the rails real quick, how much cooler would it have been if it was Adam Sandler as it was intended to be?
Oh my god, that would have been awesome. I didn't know
Yeah.
that. It was supposed to be
You
Adam
didn't know that?
Sandler.
Yeah, there's Tarantino wanted Adam Sandler, but he was committed to funny people. And him and Judd Apatow used to be roommates and stuff, so he wasn't gonna.
That sucks.
Yeah.
Well, what were we talking about?
Eli Roth going into Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
So that's a guy who was really popular for a short period of time and then disappeared a little bit.
He produced a lot of shows and stuff, and then
I mean, that's probably the smart move. Like, you made your nut, now try and build it without having to do all the additional work.
All the work, yeah. I heard. I find, what was I going to say about I mean, so far, I don't know. I mean, it's early yet, but the critics' response to Thanksgiving, right?
Oh, it's just Thanksgiving.
Is it Thanksgiving?
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. Oh, there's another movie called Thanksgiving that's completely different. That's really like, yeah, man. But Thanksgiving. I don't know. I always find it funny how.
Yeah, it's Thanksgiving.
I always find it funny how people gonna go like, Rotten Tomatoes critics are bullshit. They don't know what they're talking about. They're fucking idiots. And all of a sudden,
I can't say that. We have Stacey Lane
but
Wilson on
know,
RedRiverHard.com.
I know you can't say that. You can't say that.
All her reviews go to Rotten Tomatoes contributor.
That's true. I don't say that. I don't say it, and you don't say it. But you know that there's a lot of people in the horror community who do say that.
Yeah.
They do.
Oh, yeah. Oh, absolutely. Because, you know, if you see something you like and not a lot of other people do, you know, you're going to defend your opinion because you think you got good taste.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, I find it funny though how people kind of go, "Oh, they don't know what we're talking about. It's bullshit." Blah 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 blah. And then when a movie comes out that they want to do well, and it's got strong critical reviews, they're gonna come out and they go, "Oh, this is pretty good. Oh yeah." I was like, "You fucking assholes! Way to pick and choose when you want like." So, do they not know what they're talking about, or they do know what they're talking about? What is it?
I think it really depends on where it's coming from, especially if it's something where it's like, crafted towards a select audience, and there's critics that might not be familiar with like any references to it, so they just rate it poorly. And then people who get the references, I'm trying to think of an example, but I'm drawing a blank right now. There's plenty of examples out there.
Oh yeah.
Like Silent Hill. I think Silent Hill got trashed by critics, but it's like, all you really want is ambiance. It doesn't even have to be a good story.
Yeah.
You just want to get the same vibe from the video game.
Yeah.
And that's what it did.
Yep. You can make the case for Terrifier.
Yeah,
Terrifier 1, Terrifier 2, because it's not traditionally a critics type movie, and they kind of gave it positive ratings and stuff and like that. It's got some and people are like, "Yeah, see."
I don't. Some people just really like Art the Clown.
We are going to have we're going to have a show on Terrifier because I want to talk about it. I don't think you haven't seen it yet, right?
A little reluctant, but I've seen plenty of parts of the first one.
Yeah.
I just have to go through it.
Yeah. And believe me, you will have to go through it.
I will. I'm gonna.
That is something that is just like, especially the second one. Second one's like 3 days long. Christ, it's ridiculous. Fucking Dark Knight Rises isn't that long.
Just because. Why not?
Unbelievable. I was watching it. I was like, so the first one was like I was bored with, and now it's like what 2.5 hours long. Are you fucking gonna sit through 2.5 hours of this shit? Jesus Christ!
More of that clown.
Oh my God!
It's so brutal.
Great concept, but we'll talk about it another time.
Yeah.
So
that one.
Yeah. All in all, I mean, look, you can make a case that they're overdoing it. They're making really low hanging fruit, PG-13, safe, mass appeal. Because that's what and I put in the description for the video.
Getting
the live stream
to the movies is the goal. Ticket sales and generating revenue.
Yeah. Are they diluting or ruining horror for the sake of profit and mass appeal? Or is that what they're doing? Which, to be honest,
that's what it feels like from the Blumhouse camp at this point. But is that being used to fund those smaller projects?
Exactly. So that's what I was going to say.
Is it a worthy cause?
I mean, there was how many years ago where all these production companies, all these big movie companies, they didn't touch these horror franchises. They didn't touch any of them.
Horror became poison.
Yes.
After the 90s, 2000 slasher run.
Yeah.
It's just like, okay, we're done with that.
Yeah. So in a way, it's kind of cool that that Blumhouse is kind of making it a little more mainstream, because if you can bring in,
I was just pulling Exorcist box office numbers. So it's currently at 133 million total box office. So
wow.
Whatever. I mean, that's we have our answer why it happens, but
exactly. That's what I'm saying.
Does it mean that it's good? No, but
you take that name out and you put the possession of two girls or some shit, possession.
And here's the kicker, Joe.
Make a choice.
You know who's gonna like that? Not us. Someone younger, like high school kids. There's your target demographic.
What, the new original movie, or like
for the Exorcist, for Exorcist Believer? That's who they're getting.
True, but to be honest with it, even that crowd has been
to the movies.
But even that crowd has been tough on it. If you've looked on Letterboxd at the reviews for it,
really from the younger folks.
Yeah.
So a lot of stuff. I follow Dreadit heavily, so the subreddit for horror.
Okay.
On Reddit. Dreadit's a nickname. So
that's clever.
You get a lot of a lot of mixed up, but It's just such a mixed bag there, but I feel like it's a lot of old heads who just hate everything. And then occasionally like the optimistic person be like, what's something that you really enjoyed? And then just comments are like, oh, I used to, and then they ruined it.
Yeah. Wait.
That's the comment. At least A24 seems to get freedom in storytelling. They sure do. That's definitely a big difference, I think, between A24 and the Blumhouse brand.
Yeah. And I think that's what
Blumhouse used to. It feels like
Yeah.
that's not the case anymore.
And I think that's what my main point of that was, is that this is where one of the main points I was trying to make is that it's making horror mainstream, and it's making money at the box office, and that's a good thing, because then you get more horror. But then it may become a little more diluted to where you're going to get you're going to get some good stuff, but you're going to get some shit.
Yeah.
And I think it's a good thing that we're getting more horror movies. My fear, though, because it's exposure for the horror genre. My concern, though, this is my concern. My concern, though, is that it's going to do the same thing that happened in the 80s, where it's like, now it's going to get diluted, and everything's all of a sudden you're going to have box office bombs, and you're going to go through the recycle thing again. Like you said, it's going to become poison again. And nobody's going to touch these franchises again. Nobody's going to touch these stories again and create. Nobody's going to take any chances. So that's what I'm worried about.
The superhero genre right now. Marvel just had their biggest bomb after they just had, I think, 2 bombs in a row. Looking like a DC run where just everything bombs.
Yeah, Marvel got a little bit predictable. And to be honest, well, and let's be fair to Marvel here. This should be, I don't know, to be fair to Marvel, Marvel's phase 1 and phase 2, like that first phase, that started off, and that was a little more grounded in reality, and it was Earth based, and it was, so you have more gritty stories. It was a little more, it was new. People never seen these kinds of superhero movies before. Oh my God, they're good stories, and they're funny, and they're like gritty sometimes, and like Winter Soldier and all that sort of stuff. So it's like, and it was all building into something. Now you have the come down, whereas that phase is over, and you're continuing a new story. It's harder to do. Not to mention that these are all set in like space, and like it's because of it's not
the multiverse, the quantum realm, like.
But to be fair, though, these were stories that were already written years ago, and they already had the books. They had all the graphic novels, all the books, comic books. They had them all ready to go. They've been out for years. They're just they're taking a story that, here's our phase, here's where we're going. I just think people are less impressed, and they've gotten very predictable. Disney doesn't mean they're making bad movies.
Yeah.
It's just, they're very predictable. Whereas DC, they got James Gunn, and James Gunn takes chances. James Gunn gets dark. James Gunn gets violent. He does some funny stuff.
He probably made the best movies in the MCU.
Oh, yeah.
And we'll see what Peacemaker on HBO was fantastic.
Oh my God, I love Peacemaker.
So good. But you know what that is? I think that's because like Chris Pratt and John Cena both have like this leading man, like, big lovable goofball kind of thing.
Yeah.
About them.
Yeah.
That really works with what Gunn's going for there.
It does. Yeah. Yeah, you're right. They both kind of play that same kind of.
You're a good-hearted dummy.
Yeah. But dude, Cena plays it perfectly though.
Oh,
and so does Pratt. He does too. Just to give you an idea, because I know we talked about it, and I know we're wrapping up here soon, but just you talked about the kids these days, and I'm not saying all the kids are on Letterboxd, but it is more towards a younger generation on Letterboxd.
Okay.
But actually, Mike Flanagan just got on Letterboxd, which is great.
Which he should be, because if we want to talk about someone who's like a brand of their own, who's just killing it, it's Mike Flanagan.
And he has a couple of lists. He has like his top movies of all time lists. His top, like he's like, here's my list. He's put it on like social media stuff. He's like, here's my list on it. It's ever changing, and so I'm be adding as it goes along. Don't come at me for whatever. But
I don't know anybody who is not looking forward to what Mike Flanagan does next.
Oh wait, oh my God, I cannot. I forget what it was. I've read it somewhere. where his next movie, I forget what it's called, but have you heard about his next movie, his next project?
I probably did, and now going through all sorts of other things,
I think it's
left
Stephen
my
King.
brain space.
I think it's Stephen King.
It is
story.
another King story.
It might
which
be.
is
I could be
great.
wrong. I could be wrong about that.
Let's see.
The Life of Chuck, I think it's called. Is that what it is? No, it's a short story. Never mind. I forget. Anyway, he's doing something.
Of King shorts have been turned into movies.
What? And I could see Flanagan doing a short one.
Here he did Doctor
Turning
Sleep, which, coming out of The Shining, and I didn't expect that to be anything great. But guess what? It was.
Doctor Sleep was great.
And he did a movie. Was Doctor Sleep under the Blumhouse brand? I know Ouija was. And
Ouija, what he did, Ouija, Origin of Evil, the second one.
The second one,
which was
not bad.
I don't think he's made a movie that I didn't like, to be honest with you. This is what I wanted to get to, though.
Yeah.
Flanagan reviewed Hell House Origins.
Oh, did he?
Yes, he did.
What did he have to say?
This I'm gonna find it. So
okay.
He reviewed it, and I was kind of like, what? No way. He let me get this up here. He said, let me get I'm the anticipation.
Oh man, I'll confirm that his next project is The Life of Chuck. And
it is. I knew it
is a short out of the novella from Stephen King's It Bleeds. So it is one of his shorts being turned into full length. And so far the cast is tied to is Tom Hiddleston, Mark Hamill, who was amazing in Fall of House of Usher. So yeah, give me more Luke Skywalker. Keep him coming. Karen Gillian, or is it Jillian? I don't know.
I love yeah, she's awesome.
Yeah. Jacob Tremblay, and then Shaitel Ifor.
Oh, Tremblay's in it. Tremblay.
Yeah.
He's in it. Okay.
Yeah.
It's a good cast. I remember seeing that cast before. Now that you say it, I remember seeing something I posted about it. But I found it. Okay. There it was. Got it. Yeah. He said very much. So this is Mike Flanagan on Letterboxd on November 4th. He watched, I guess he reviewed the Carmichael Manor, Hell House Origins of Carmichael Manor. Mm-hmm. Very much enjoyed this. A fine entry and an overall excellent found footage franchise that really knows how to deliver dread and scares in equal measure. Stephen Cognetti really has made the found footage scare itself into a science, but fortunately also pours a lot of care into atmosphere, dread, and character. More than a few moments made my skin crawl with anticipation, and that's not easy to do. Chilling stuff.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yep.
And then, speaking of which, if you have the time or anybody listening, watching has the time, check out on redriverhorror.com or on our socials on YouTube and Instagram. Eddie was up in the Poconos over the weekend.
Poconos?
Took the drive and drove by Hell House.
I did see that. Yeah, that's awesome.
You want to see it in the daylight, how it is, just candid on camera. He's got it up there in one of our shorts and reels, and
that's awesome.
Yeah.
And what's the name of it again? The real name of it? It's like
is it Lehighton Inn, or let me pull that up.
I think it's the Lehighton Inn, something like that.
Yeah, but if you see it, like, there's a lot of signage out there because they do a lot of events based around Hell House there. Like Stephen Cognetti comes out and he's, does like a meet and greet with people, and I think they do a watch there.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Just
the Waldorf.
Is that what the Waldorf?
That was
the Abaddon is the
Abaddon Hotel's what's named in
the movie. Yeah.
The movie.
I think it's the Waldorf.
Yeah.
Yeah. That sounds about right. just because I had this up on the page and I got to read them all, a couple off to you, just so you know. On Letterboxd, on Exorcist Believer,
Mm-hmm.
here's some of them. Okay, 2 stars. Okay, but what if 2 little girls were possessed? Dumbass studio exec. Holy fuck. 1 star, sucks ass. 1 star, me and Bestie when our cycles sync.
Yeah.
2 stars. David Gordon Green is out here ruining franchises like he did, like he the CEO of Disney.
Yo.
The scariest thing about the movie, 2 stars. Scariest thing about the movie is they already planned a trilogy.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Oh my god, somebody wrote Exorcist Assemble. Oh my god.
Dude, when I heard that was the case, I'm like, there's just no way I can sit through this. I can't do it. I'm not.
See, I actually like that idea. When I heard about
I'll
that,
never get that time back, and I just will never, like, absolutely not.
I like the idea of, because I think to me you save that to the end. You say that to the third one. That's got to be that's got to be the message of, like, all right, all the religions coming together, whatever. All right, cool idea.
Mm-hmm.
But, and spoiler warning in case anyone hasn't seen Exorcist Believer, but to kind of pull that out in the first one and to kind of, I don't know. Look, there's certain things that are good about it, but it's just not scary for a long time, and it just drags. And anyway, but I think we can all say the conclusion is that, like, look,
not
these
ruining
movies,
it, but he's not. Blumhouse isn't ruining it, but really isn't doing that great of a job of it like he used to.
It is. They have now evolved into they are really, I mean, they're doing their job. They're trying to make money. And I guess as long as they keep making original stuff and backing original stuff like Megan and like the Black Phone. The Black Phone's another one,
That's right. And that's why that's getting a sequel too.
Yep. I mean, as long as they're funding those projects, I don't mind the low-hanging fruit. I keep saying low-hanging fruit. The movies that are just sort of safe, PG-13, appeal to younger generations, are going to make money at the box, or like franchises that are going to make money at the box office. I'm surprised they haven't gotten the rights to Nightmare on Elm Street yet. I'm surprised they haven't gotten the rights to Friday the 13th yet. I'm shocked. I don't know what they're waiting for, because
I bet someone else has. Whoever's got control of that's going to want to revamp those again.
Well, Wes Craven's estate has the rights to the Nightmare on Elm Street, and I know they're shopping it around. And speaking of, that when the news came out that Nightmare on Elm Street, the rights reverted back to the Craven estate, and they put a news out there, whatever out there, they put something out there that they were taking ideas for a new story for Nightmare on Elm Street.
Right.
Submissions for new story, and Mike Flanagan tweeted out, "Put me in, coach." And I was like,
who I'd really love to write a Nightmare on Elm Street movie, and he's a friend of RedRiverHorror.com. He's been on the podcast. Jeffrey Reddick, who is the writer of Final Destination.
Oh,
and how he made his break into the film industry was by writing to. Was that Miramax that had Nightmare? But
New Line.
So he wrote a letter with like ideas to studio executive at New Line, and they wrote him back with like kind of a shutdown, and he wrote them again with all due respect, and the guy like respected his gumption and invited him out to LA.
Wow.
And he ended up like doing like it's a great story. I mean, you can hear we have his episode on, and I can't wait to have him back. His story of going from like middle of nowhere Kentucky to writing, for movies is incredible. And
Yeah.
he's a super nice guy too. Like,
Yeah, if anyone listen to this and now or the future, definitely check out Red River Horror Podcast. Yeah, Joe, I'll let you plug it. You're better at that talking that out. Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead. Just
So,
I'll
yeah,
stumble over my words and get all
no, it's all good, guys. We're about to shut down for the night, but yeah, I do the podcast with Eddie Kayazu, who created RedRiverHorror.com. We do some fun. We have some great interviews. The last interview that was on, I was not available for it. Eddie did a great job, but it has a woman who writes articles for our site, Stacey Lane Wilson, and I can't I feel bad because I can't remember the guest's name, but he was with Discover Lancaster. And they were going over the release of the Harrison Ford film in the 80s, Witness.
Oh, yeah.
Talking about the sites and everything where it was filmed in Lancaster.
Oh, cool.
Because there's a 4K digital release coming out for it.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Wow, that's cool.
Yeah. So it was a good episode. It's pretty interesting stuff.
Yeah, you guys could be able to get some people in there for interviews.
Yeah. No, we've had a lot of fun ones. So if you check out our episode 100 is a clip show, you can hear our favorite clips from interviews that we've done over the years. And one of those is Jeffrey Reddick's in there. So
that's awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Yeah. And you guys are on all
of them, everywhere,
all
all the platforms.
So wherever you get your podcasts, wherever you listen to your podcasts.
Yeah. Or just be a friend. Just hit subscribe and a bell or whatever, just for our numbers. Just be a pal. You don't have to listen.
Yeah, there you go.
That's how I used to do it with our old podcast when I had the podcast Talking Nerdy and Rocks Trash Radio. Be like, look, you don't have to listen to it. Just give us a follow or a like. Just a prop. Because apparently that, I don't know if the numbers still matter, but that mattered more than actual listens.
Wow, really?
Yeah, and I know that's not the case on YouTube, but it was the case on Apple Podcasts and Stitcher.
Interesting.
So, but I think now, I think it doesn't work that well with more people switching over to Spotify. So I think Spotify uses more like a YouTube algorithm where it really tracks your length of listen.
Okay.
But that's a conversation for off air, because otherwise we'll go down a rabbit hole.
Oh yeah.
I think we've talked specs for almost 2 hours at one point.
Oh yeah. I remember that conversation. Yeah, I felt so bad towards. I was like, Jesus Christ, I just talked to Zero about specs, and Jesus.
It's all good, man.
Sound Painter Studio. I'm not ignoring you. I swear. It's just that I will respond to these. I will read all these.
Yeah, and
Joe's on the East Coast. I'm on the West Coast, so it's earlier for me. It's late for him. He's got work tomorrow, so I want to make sure that we, hit our points and get to the ends so he can go night.
But really appreciate him or them, him, her, participating. I don't know you. I'm very sorry, but it's nice to meet you.
Yeah,
thanks for participating.
Yeah, we really appreciate all of the because it was a lot and it was awesome. Like you made some really great points and we agree with most of them. So, and we love the engagement too. And we know it's been a while since we've been on here.
We'll be back next week.
Yep. So. We'll be doing it on Wednesday.
I have a shoot for Wednesday night.
Unless something comes up and then we have to push it, we'll let everyone know. But we aim for Wednesdays. Wednesdays at
9 Eastern,
9
6
Eastern,
Pacific.
6 Pacific. Yep. Absolutely.
Yep.
And I don't know the topic yet, what we're going to talk about.
Well, we'll come up a little something.
Yeah, we'll figure something. Maybe if maybe it'll be David Fincher's The Killer. We'll see if you see it. Maybe it'll be Terrifier.
What's The Killer on right now? Netflix.
Yeah.
Okay.
I loved it, but I love Fincher. So, you a Fincher guy?
I don't think I can say that I am or I'm not. I don't think there's anything he's done that I've ever not liked. But I don't think I've ever just gone be like, yeah, I just love David Fincher stuff.
I think Mank was the only one that I was like, so it's good, but Mank's a great movie, but it's just not traditional type Fincher stuff.
Well, what's your favorite?
Zodiac.
Okay.
Absolutely
It's a really
Zodiac.
good movie. So yeah. Okay.
I love Zodiac. I have the director's cut on Blu. I got the director's cut. I watch that routinely every year. I mean, I love that movie so much. That whole crime noir feel to it, and
Yeah.
it's the whole Zodiac mystery. I'm intrigued by that. So, I mean, you got Fight Club, Panic Room. I mean, you got Seven. It's just, guys.
Yeah.
And his show on Netflix. Remember his show on Netflix? What was it? Mindhunter. Have you seen that?
I had watched it, and I don't think I could tell you a thing that happened in it. Joe, I'm dead serious. Like, there's just so much more content. Like, since 2010, the amount of content available immediately has just exploded. And I see so much stuff. And half the, I'd say 25% of the time I'm under the influence and I don't retain it. I'm entertained at the time.
I
feel myself.
I agree with you on that. I'm right there with you.
But there's plenty of episodes and movies that I've watched and woke up the next day and be like, "What the fuck was that about?" Nah, I like that.
I'm with you on there because I remember years ago feeling I was way more like I remembered everything way more.
Yeah.
Like it was way more memorable. And it's not because they were better. It was just because you weren't so overwhelmed and flooded with just content. Because you get overwhelmed and because there's a lot going on in the world and in everybody's life. Yes, we're under the influence sometimes. And we're kind of like, it's good. The next day we're just kind of like, did you like the movie? Yeah, it was good.
It was good.
What'd you like about it? I don't fucking know. I don't remember. I don't remember what
going on. Yeah. So maybe I have to have a notepad with me.
Yeah. Exactly.
But yeah, no, I mean, Seven's one of my favorite movies, and Fight Club is just a gem. It's a classic. Yeah, I really like Zodiac, so I'm looking forward to it. You know what? I'll try and throw it on over the weekend.
The Killer?
Yeah.
It's takes its time, but there's a reason why it takes its time.
If you listen to the Red River Horror Podcast, one thing you'll learn about me real quick is that I love a slow burn.
Oh, that's what it is. It's not a horror movie, just want to be clear.
That's fine. It can be if it's building up to something and you're starting to pick little itty bitty pieces as it goes, and it's just kind of that's right up my alley.
Methodical. That's all I will say is methodical.
Okay. Works for me, Joe.
Yes. Everyone go watch that. And we'll talk about it. Maybe we'll watch it. Maybe we'll talk about that next week. Maybe we'll talk at some point. We'll talk Terrifier. Who knows? We'll see. We will talk about it on the side. You'll see a thumbnail. You'll know what we're going to talk about. Sound Painter Studios. Thank you so much for hanging out with us.
Mm-hmm.
As he said to you, Joe, the stream was fun. Nice to meet you too. There you go. Yeah. You're friends now. You guys are friends.
No. Come to my birthday party.
This is no, that's awesome. That's awesome. But this is why we do this kind of stuff, so you can have the engagement and you can hang out, and that's why we do it.
Exactly.
Okay, everyone. Joe, you want to sign off for yourself?
Yeah, no, you know me. I'm Joe Z. You can find my internet stuff on redriverhorror.com for the Red River Horror Podcasts. Wherever you get your podcast content, we have some stuff on YouTube. We were working on beefing that up. Yeah. Otherwise, if you want to follow me on the Twitter, I don't say X yet. Still call it Twitter. I don't even know why I still have. I actually use it for the sports.
Oh, the sports.
Sports on Twitter is great.
I follow the sports.
Well, I could go on about how odd and weird it got, but whatever. I mean, for live sports updates, it's fine.
Yeah, that's what my brother said. My brother is, and I've been meaning. I swear to God, I've been meaning to get on Twitter for 3 years, and I still haven't done it. Now they changed the name. What do people say? Do people say I tweeted it now, or
everyone still says tweet unless you're Elon.
Why did he do that,
Joe? Save that for another time.
Why did you do that?
That's a long conversation.
Did you see my X on X? It was amazing.
Yeah, no, people still say it's if you go down the Elon rabbit hole, he just loves the letter X.
Yeah, I heard that.
What's
So
his
cool.
space? What's his space company?
X.
What's the model? The model of Tesla?
X.
What's his kid's name?
Isn't it like
X with a bunch of other letters.
yeah? What the? It's like some. It's like a yeah. It's like
At
some
least one of them.
algorithm or something.
Yeah, so that's just something where he owns it, so he changed the name.
Strange. Well, I'm
But
not on there yet, but Joe's on there.
I
so-
wouldn't, and that's just
Yeah.
Josie and Josie, the letter N, Pussycats.
That's just that. That's it.
Josie and the Pussycats.
Joe. Oh my God, that's great. That's so great.
Yeah,
That's
so I'm
awesome.
gonna turn that into like a little 3-chord punk project and start recording stupid songs that are like a minute and a half long.
That's awesome.
So plenty of other content I'll just keep throwing on the internet for shit.
Hey, why not? That's what everyone
not?
else is doing. Just
Life
throwing
is for
shit
the
out
living.
there. Yeah. So, and of course, you can follow me, Different Take Official on Instagram, Facebook, and of course here at YouTube. Am I missing anything else? Not yet. Not on Twitter yet. Not on Threads yet. Oh yeah, our little Facebook group that we have fun talk about movies in there.
That's where it's at.
Yeah, we talk about stuff.
Sign up in there, have fun.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes. But other than that, we will see you all next week. Thank you everyone for hanging out. Joe.
Good night, sir.
See y'all next week.
See you.
See ya.
Thank you, Selena. Take it away.